Coron is one of the most beautiful places in all of the Philippines, famous for its stunning lakes and lagoons and outrageously beautiful remote islands.
Although it's rapidly becoming more popular, we think Coron is still massively underrated.
In this travel guide, we highlight the 10 best things to do in Coron and show you our first-hand experiences with a cost breakdown for every activity.
We also highlight the best places to stay in Coron, how to get there, how long you should stay, and the best time to visit to help you plan your perfect trip.
Let's dive straight in with number 1 on the list of the best things to do in Coron.
Speaking of diving, make sure you dive down to that subscribe button, hit it for us, and hit that notification bell. It really means a huge amount for us, and we do appreciate it. Big love, guys.
Number 1 on the list is a multi-day boat tour from El Nido to Coron. These multi-day boat tours are undeniably one of the most popular activities for travelers exploring Palawan. These tours offer a unique opportunity to journey to remote islands and witness the untouched beauty of the region. The trip is also conveniently a great way to travel from El Nido to Coron. Due to the popularity of these tours, we highly recommend booking in advance. You can check out the Dream Big Boatman's website in the description below for some epic multi-day expeditions. However, if you don't want to book a multi-day trip, there are some more direct ways to get to Coron, which we will discuss later on in the video.
Next on the list of the best things to do in Coron has to be the Twin Lagoons. This iconic location is perhaps most famously associated with Coron, and it definitely lives up to the hype. The lagoons are nestled within the rugged karst landscapes of Coron Island and feature stunning circular pools with turquoise borders. They are hidden away from the open sea and accessible through entrances carved into the limestone landscape. The most popular way to visit the Twin Lagoons is via an island hopping tour from Coron town.
A full-day island hopping tour, including lunch, will likely set you back about £25, and we have highlighted our top choices in the description below. Alongside the Twin Lagoons, the Barracuda Lake is another of our absolute favourite places in the Philippines. This natural wonder lies nestled away in the heart of the Camalian Islands, boasting crystal clear waters and towering rock formations. The terrain at the lake is formed by ancient volcanic activity. Its unique geography creates a surreal underwater landscape. Legend has it that the lake was once home to a massive barracuda possessing fierce supernatural abilities. These tales of the barracuda's presence have lent an air of mystery to the lake. However, if the thought of a barracuda is putting you off, fear not. While the lake may be home to a small number of barracudas, sightings are rare and there have never been any incidents involving a barracuda in the lake. The entrance fee to Barracuda Lake is roughly 250 pesos, which is about £3.50. However, this fee is often included as part of a full-day tour itinerary, but it's definitely worth checking with your tour provider in advance to avoid any hidden costs.
Next on the list of the best things to do in Coron is the iconic Mount Tapyas viewpoint. Towering over the town, the peak offers breathtaking panoramic views of Coron Bay and the surrounding islands that are simply unbeatable. There is also a Hollywood-style Coron sign and a large cross on the summit, which lights up at night. We highly recommend hiking up for sunset because, honestly, this is one of the best sunsets we have ever seen. I mean, check it out for yourself. The hike is suitable for varying abilities. It's roughly 750 steps up, but has good terrain and good railings. There's also a large walkway, so you can take regular breaks and you can go at your own pace without holding anyone up.
What's even better is that this activity is completely free to do. To visit, just type Mount Tapyas into Google Maps and either walk or grab a taxi for a small fee to the start of the hike. Alternatively, you can visit Mount Tapyas as part of a really affordable Coron town tour. These tours visit many of the top land-based spots in Coron and are a lovely alternative to many of the island hopping tours that Coron has to offer. Speaking of island hopping, number 5 on our list of the best things to do in Coron has to be an island hopping tour. Just like El Nido, Coron features 4 island hopping tours, tours A, B, C and D, and all of them feature absolutely stunning locations. It's worth noting that tours A and B feature locations that are much closer to Coron town versus tours C and D. The locations in tours C and D are incredible, but it can take up to 2 hours to reach them via boat, so it's definitely something to consider before booking. However, we think the journey was totally worth it, and because tours C and D are further away, the locations tend to be far less crowded. We have included tour itineraries for all 4 tours and booking links in the description below.
At number 6 is the stunning Pass Island. This insane location features turquoise water, powdery white sands, beautiful sunsets, and the most perfect array of stars at nighttime. The island is a tiny speck on the map tucked away roughly 2 hours off the coast of Coron, and you can visit Pass Island as part of Island Hopping Tour D. The island is pretty far off the beaten path, which makes it an ideal location for those wishing to escape the crowds and experience pristine beaches. You can also camp on the island in beach tents or beach huts, and as there is minimal light pollution, the stars here are some of the most incredible we have ever seen.
We highly recommend staying overnight if you have the time, and if you would like to look into this option, we've included a complete guide to Pass Island on our website in the description below. Next on the list is Ditaytayan Island. This island features a stunning sandbar which stretches out into turquoise waters, creating a picture-perfect paradise. Much like Pass Island, Ditaytayan Island is roughly 2 hours by boat from Coron town, and because of this, it tends to be much less crowded than other more famous spots in the region. It's not uncommon to have the entire island to yourself, making it the perfect destination for those seeking a private slice of paradise. Not many tours visit this island, but there is one private speedboat tour that makes the journey. We have included the booking link in the description below, but as it is a private tour, it is quite many. Alternatively, for a more budget-friendly option, you could consider visiting Bulog Dos Island, which has a very similar sandbar and is included in Tour C. This is far more affordable as it's a shared group tour coming in around the £35 mark. You can check the description for more info.
Another island which is also a part of Tour C and one of our personal favourites is Malcapuya Island. This island boasts pristine beaches, stunning rock formations and immaculate vibes. The reason this is one of our favourites is because it features a small basketball court right on the beach. If you are familiar with our channel, you will know that we are both basketball players, having met through the love of our sport.
We took the opportunity to play on the beach with the locals and it was an awesome experience. We highly recommend jumping in and hooping if you get the chance to visit. And number 10 on the list, it has to be the Lusong Gunboat Shipwreck and the Lusong Coral Garden Reef. The Shipwreck is a significant World War II historical site that offers a fascinating experience for snorkelers and beginner freedivers. The wreck now stands as a biodiverse artificial reef with corals and marine life covering nearly all of its surface. Likewise, the Lusong Coral Garden Reef offers an array of corals which serve as a haven for a wide variety of tropical fish species. With conservation efforts in place, the Lusong Coral Garden remains a thriving ecosystem. If you're lucky, you may even spot a turtle. These two locations are just around the corner from each other and both are part of Island Hopping Tour D, so you could tick them off in the same day.
Bonus tip. We haven't personally been, but we have heard Maquinit Hot Springs is a great place to relax after exploring Coron. This saltwater hot spring is one of a few of its kind globally, boasting temperatures between 39 and 40 degrees Celsius. It's surrounded by limestone rocks and mangrove trees, providing a tranquil experience for unwinding.
To visit this destination, just type in the Maquinit Hot Springs into Google Maps and either scoot there or grab a taxi. The next things we're going to discuss are the best ways to get to Coron town. By far, the most direct way to get to Coron is to fly into Busuanga Airport. This is also sometimes called Coron Airport, but just to be sure, the airport code is USU. There are direct flights from both Manila and Cebu. From Busuanga Airport, it's a 45-minute drive to Coron town, which is where the majority of travellers stay in the region and probably where you will want to be. From as little as £5, you can book a shared van from the airport to Coron town. To avoid increased prices on arrival, we suggest pre-booking this transfer and we've included a booking link with one to go down below. Alternatively, you can choose to head to Coron after exploring some of the more southern areas in Palawan, including Puerto Princesa, Port Barton and El Nido. You can check out our ultimate El Nido travel guide here if you're planning to explore more of Palawan. If you are coming from further south, you can also catch a ferry from El Nido to Coron. This is a very popular travelling route and you will likely meet loads of wonderful people on the way. Also, as mentioned previously, another extremely popular way to make this journey is to book a multi-day boat tour from El Nido to Coron, and we would highly recommend this option if you have the time. Refer to number 1 on our list of the best things to do in case you missed it.
Next, how long you should stay in Coron. we would recommend spending at least 2 days doing island hopping tours, then another day or two exploring everything else Coron has to offer. Therefore, we would suggest allocating at least 3 to 4 days to Coron. However, if you have more time, we highly suggest staying overnight on Pass Island or completing a multi-day boat trip.
Now for where to stay in Coron. If you love a social vibe, then our first recommendation would have to be Outpost Hostel. This hostel is one of the most popular in the region and features a rooftop pool. Even if you don't stay here, many people visit to spend a few hours around the iconic pool. And shared dorms start from around £18 a night, and for 2 people, private start around £65. As you can imagine, this hostel gets booked up very quickly, so if you do want to stay here, we recommend booking well in advance. More details in the description below. Another great option is Bam Bam Hostel. This is in a great location in the centre of Coron Town and offers live music on various nights. The prices are slightly more affordable than Outpost Hostel, with dorms starting around £12, and again, more details down below.
The best time to visit Coron is typically during the Philippines dry season, which runs from December to April. During this time, you can expect clearer skies, calmer waters, and minimal rainfall, which is especially important if you want to do some of the longer island hopping tours.
Although prices for accommodation and a lot of the tours will likely be inflated during dry season, we highly advise against visiting during the rainy season because it's quite likely that some of the tours will be cancelled due to rough seas. Let's move on to common mistakes to avoid in Coron. First and foremost, be very careful when swimming in the famous lakes of the region, including the Barracuda Lake and Kayangan Lake. The water in these lakes is brackish, which is a mix of salt and fresh water, and makes treading water or floating much more difficult. This can really catch people out, especially if they have been used to the buoyancy of the ocean throughout the rest of their trip. Therefore, we highly recommend wearing a life jacket, even if you are a confident swimmer, and oftentimes these are now enforced at the entrances. However, if you enjoy free diving, don't worry. You can slip your life jacket off to dive down and swim back up to it again to take a rest. Just be mindful it will be far easier to dive down, but far more difficult to swim back up when compared to the ocean.
Next, don't book an island hopping tour without checking the weather, specifically for the wind. Even during dry season and on sunny days, the wind between Coron Town and some of the popular island destinations can be strong. As mentioned, for tours C and D, you will have to journey up to 2 hours on boat to get to the first stops. This can be quite an uncomfortable journey if the sea is rough. If you feel the sea, try and plan ahead and book a tour that offers free cancellations. If in doubt, use some seasickness tablets.
Speaking of seasickness, if you are journeying to Coron by ferry, we highly recommend taking a seasickness tablet. This journey can be over 5 hours and can be very rough at times. Don't let it put you off. We feel the sea and we were absolutely fine, but we would recommend taking an anti-sickness about an hour or so before the ferry just to be safe. However, before taking any medication, you should consult with your doctor. Don't just listen to YouTubers on the internet.
The next mistake to avoid is relying on the Wi-Fi. This is also one of our top tips for El Nido, but it is even more true for Coron. Internet can be very scarce or even non-existent when journeying to remote islands in the region. However, we purchased a Globe data SIM at the airport and were very surprised that there was data on some of the most remote islands.
We highly recommend getting this data SIM, which can be purchased at Manila or Cebu international airports. 45 gigabytes will set you back about 1,000 pesos and last roughly 30 days. This is truly everything we think you need to know to have the absolute best trip in Coron, and we really hope it helps you out. If you are planning your trip to the Philippines, you can check out our other travel guides on the screen here.
If you enjoy our content, please give us a subscribe. It's a massive help. We really do appreciate it. Peace.